those first few precious moments when I held my newborn son Jacob in my arms. I understood what it meant when others said that your whole world changes forever the moment that you become a parent. But the truth is, that moment was just the beginning. In May of 2005, when Jacob was 5 years old, my husband and I welcomed our daughter, Olivia, into the world. She made her entrance with her ankles crossed and her legs extended, folded in half, with her feet at her head. Many of the joints in her fingers did not bend, and her first and pinky fingers overlapped on each hand. She was breathtakingly beautiful. We call Olivia our mystery girl. She was born with stiff joints and weak muscles, categorized by the term arthrogryposis multiplex congenita, but with no known cause. She had hip surgery at 8 months old, and at the age of 7, she crawls but doesn't walk, and there are still many joints in her fingers that do not bend. At the age of 2, Olivia had very few words, but everyone said that speech would come in time, but it didn't. She has some words, but she rarely uses those words or sounds or even signs to communicate her needs and wants. Instead, she takes my hand and pushes it towards something that she wants. Or she bangs her head, or she pinches. And our minds race to solve the mystery of what it is she needs. And sometimes we solve that mystery, and other times we're left frustrated and bleeding and begging God to tell us why we're in a place where our daughter cannot communicate with us. But oh, how she loves to sing. Olivia can keep the beat to any song she hears, and she can sing the tune perfectly. No matter if it's just sounds coming out of her mouth or syllables, or even if she sings the words, she can keep the melody. You can hear it. Music is her connection. It's her life. At the age of 3, just turned 3, Olivia one day said the letter Q and then proceeded to say the alphabet backwards, all the way to A. She did that for a couple months and then actually stopped for a couple years. And then when she started back, she actually added in making us sign the letters too.
Y.
Y. X.
W.
W. V.
It's one of the many times that we've been reminded that Olivia is always listening. We hold our breath, and we anxiously wait for her to say a word or to sing a song, to name us, to connect, to communicate, to let us in, to share herself with us. And when she does, we drink it in. We savor every moment. But the signs added up. The lack of language, the rocking back and forth, no pretend play. And at the age of 5, Olivia was diagnosed as severely autistic and intellectually disabled. She has an IQ of 40, but that number does not begin to tell the story of our girl. Amid the arm flapping and the head banging and the rocking back and forth, you'll find a very curious mind. And beyond the labels of intellectually disabled or socially impaired, you'll find a child longing to connect. Her story has changed me in immeasurable ways. It has been by far the biggest lesson in faith I have ever experienced. But it's also been the impetus for a deeper exploration of teaching, learning, and technology wrapped up in a world of special needs. In the United States, 54 million Americans live with a disability. From mild to severe to profound and everywhere in between, these disabilities alter lives. Understanding that out of these 54 million people, there are some who are able to overcome their disabilities or adapt to the challenges they face. We also have to understand there are many who don't even have a voice, and their lives are completely altered by the disabilities that they have. With the use of assistive technologies, people are enabled to communicate, live, work, and play more independently. For some, the assistive technologies provide a seemingly simple solution to an obstacle that they face. And again, for others, it quite literally provides them a voice. My thirst for knowledge in the area of assistive technologies has led me to so many inspiring stories of how these tools are changing lives. Meet Emma. Emma is affected by arthrogryposis in her arms. She is unable to lift her hands and arms, or at least she was, until she was fitted with a robotic exoskeleton called the Rex.
It was an arthrogryposis family meeting in Philadelphia where I described the Rex.
We watched a presentation on the Rex.
And that's how it all started. So we required something light and small that would attach to her body and go with her. So that's where we had this Stratasys 3D printing machine, and we thought, well, we could print it out for her.
And he did it, and the weight difference is significant. And for a child who only weighs 25 pounds, it makes a big difference. Whitney and Tarek put their minds together and came up with a jacket, and they would put the Rex on that, and we're on our second jacket. She outgrew the first one, and now we're on our second one. And it's still evolving. It's still growing into this incredible prosthetic that helps her to use her arms.
Without the 3D printer, we would not be in a position we're in with these younger kids, making them a Rex device that can go with them.
This is one of those industries that matches perfectly with 3D printing, additive manufacturing, because we need custom everything.
I think 3D scanning and printing technology is the future for this field.
The ABS plastic that they use is the same plastic used in Legos. It's human-friendly, if you will. It's really strong and durable to handle the abuse. We can answer a need in a heartbeat.
If the Rex breaks, all I have to do is take a picture and email it to Whitney. He knows exactly what the piece is. He prints it out. I go to the hospital, or he's even mailed them.
I don't have to worry about lead time to machine something, order supplies. I can just basically go back to my program and print out another one.
And it's back together and it's working.
Emma calls the Rex her magic arms. And the producer of this video, Eric Jensen, kept in touch with Emma and her mother and Whitney and Tarek. And after the video went viral, Whitney had trouble keeping up with the demand for fitting children with the Rex. So Eric, the producer of the video, has actually started a nonprofit organization called Magic Arms for the World. And he is working with a team of incredible people to not only help Whitney in the current time fit children for the Rex, but also to continue research and development to create an off-the-shelf model of the Rex. And to me, this is just a profound example of how technology, combined with compassion and commitment, takes the story of a few and potentially is going to affect the world. For people who have very severe disabilities, there's a technology that's been created at Boston College by Professor James Gibbs that actually enables the user to navigate a computer screen with only his eyes.
Eagle Eyes is an innovative eye-controlled technology developed at Boston College in 1994 by computer science professor Jim Gibbs. The technology enables communication and learning primarily for children and adults who have severe special needs. These individuals are most often nonverbal, paralyzed, and have at most a yes-no method of communicating or are completely locked in. Basically, the mouse pointer follows the location that the user is looking at on the screen. Essentially, the eyes replace the mouse. Each selection is made by looking at a small area of the screen for a short period of time, which causes a mouse click. Usable with any commercial software, Eagle Eyes is a general mouse replacement that is based on measuring the electrical signal of the eye.
I heard Dr. Gibbs talk about the evolution of his connection with children with disabilities. And his statement was so profound because to me it clearly shared how his life had been altered on this journey. He said, "My initial attitude towards children with disabilities was, thank God those are not my children, to those could be my children, to those are my children, to they are me." Dr. Gibbs also created a free downloadable piece of software that's very related to the Eagle Eyes project that he has done. It's called Camera Mouse. And for someone who has the capability to control the movement of his or her head, Camera Mouse uses a simple webcam, and you choose a location area on your face to track, and that is how you navigate the mouse on the screen. So not all assistive technologies are high-tech. There are so many low-tech options, inexpensive, even free, like Camera Mouse, or the color overlays that Karen was talking about earlier. All of those assistive technologies also provide enabling capabilities for those with special needs. This font was actually created to assist people who have dyslexia. The heavy-weighted bottom of the characters helps with the symptoms of dyslexia by indicating the direction of the letters, as well as reinforcing the line of text. Open Dyslexic Font is available for free. Providing printed material for people who have print disabilities is the mission of Bookshare. Bookshare provides almost 200,000 books, newspapers, and periodicals in digital formats, and also for folks who have visual impairments or learning disabilities. Currently, less than 5% of printed materials are actually available in accessible formats. And Bookshare believes that everyone should have the same access to reading material, and they are working hard to make that vision a reality. I want to introduce you to Max. Max is nonverbal, and he's using an augmented communication device. And he's going to tell us what he and his friend like to eat.
What does Caleb eat? My spaces. My people. My friends. Caleb.
Who's Caleb? Max, is Caleb your best friend?
Spaces.
Yes.
Actions. Eat. My food and drinks. Lunch. Chicken fajitas.
No, it doesn't eat that. Okay, so why don't we erase it? Okay, so why don't we erase it? What does Caleb like to eat?
Chicken nuggets.
Oh, okay. Dressings.
Dressing.
Okay, now
Tips,
where's the ketchup?
sauces and condiments.
Press it again.
Ketchup.
Okay. Now what does it say?
Max eats spaghetti, Caleb eat chicken nuggets, ketchup.
I love Mom's laughing there too. You can't help but laugh. Look at that face. You know, portable devices like that iPad that he's using and that all-inclusive communication app, those are replacing the frustration of not being able to communicate with peace and joy. You can see the joy in Max's eyes. And I can't imagine what it's like to live like Max and be nonverbal and not to be able to communicate. But the flip side of that is to imagine what it's like now for him to have that tool in his hand. The inspiration for developing assistive technologies is often a very personal journey. And I want you to meet 12-year-old Eric.
I got inspired by my sister Julie, who is an autistic young girl. She has great difficulties with communication and speech, but she is a real sweetheart and teaches us every day to care for people in need, to be compassionate, understanding, helpful, and creative. So I searched the web to see if there was an application that did handwriting to speech. I came up empty-handed. Then I thought, how hard is it to make an application that did exactly that? To enter text, I will write on the input panel between the lines. Now, when I am done, I touch the Enter button to insert the text at the cursor location. You can also touch the Speak button to insert the text and speak.
Hello, hello, hello.
Folks, you have to pay attention to the siblings. They are often in the shadows of their special needs brothers and sisters, but I promise you, they are indelibly paving a path of sensitivity and acceptance and love. And I promise you that God is shaping them to change lives. Learning about assistive technology should not be limited to just those who work with special needs and care for them. The few technologies that I've shared with you today only begin to tell the story. The onus is on all of us. We have the responsibility to provide the tools that are needed to those who need them, both children and adults. It can empower us to build connections with one another. It can also encourage us to look at all of us and see the strengths and challenges that make each of us special. I was once very disconnected from this world of wonder, and I'm so thankful that God has allowed me to see through new eyes. He has given me and anyone who has met our girl an opportunity to be blessed by a new perspective. Olivia may not have many words, but she is speaking through him every day. And I feel it is my calling to help tell her story, to share the struggles and the trials and the love and the joy, to help people connect, to inspire. So I challenge you today to make a connection, to bring hope, to open your eyes and see this world of wonder that I see. Seek opportunities to provide assistive technologies to those who need them. Nurture compassion. Do not place limitations on what can be. Instead, explore the possibilities. Get to know someone who has special needs, and I promise you that your life will be forever changed. You will be left wanting to connect more, to support every need, and to absorb every blessing.